as you are now transitioning, dear ones, into your new year of 2020, where that is concerned, a year of full expression, a year of standing in your power, a year of knowing who you are, a year of fully being who you are, where that is concerned, and affecting change in your life, where that is concerned, affecting change in your life and affecting change in the world outside of yourself, where that is concerned, bringing your modalities, your endeavors, and your talents and gifts out into the world in a greater way that you have never known before, where that is concerned, and now creating, dear ones, the essence and truth of collective consciousness, where that is concerned, connecting with like-minded individuals, like-souled individuals, where that is concerned, like-hearted individuals, where that is concerned, who carry the essence of who they are. They carry the beingness of who they are out into the world, where that is concerned, and raising the resonance and vibration. So in many ways, dear ones, as you transition from year of 2019 into your year of 2020, it is a transition into raising your resonance and vibration. It is a transition into connecting with those who resonate and vibrate as you do, where that is concerned, who have the same goals, the same mission, the same purpose as you do, where that is concerned, and creating relationships, where that is concerned, in this collective consciousness, a collective consciousness of love, a collective consciousness of peace, community, harmony, equality, and now moving and transitioning from the feminine energy into a more assertive masculine energy, where that is concerned. Your year of 2020, dear ones, is a year of asserting yourself out into the world, a year of assertiveness, where that is concerned. And we mean by assertiveness, dear ones, that everybody in your world, where there's the most wonderful and most glorious souls in your world, characterize the masculine energy as being aggressive. And you can see that out in your world, where that is concerned. But what is most important, dear ones, as you balance the feminine and the masculine energy inside of you, many have moved to a greater place of encompassing the feminine energy, moving through their life with a new level of compassion and acceptance of self, where that is concerned, which is your definition of the feminine energy, where that is concerned. The healthy, the healed definition of the feminine energy is more compassion and acceptance, being more assertive now with your compassion of self, where that is concerned. So that remains within the context of your living in this human form, where that is concerned, being more assertive with the compassion and acceptance of self, where that is concerned. And to continue with that throughout your year of 2020, being more assertive with the compassion and acceptance of self. And as you become more assertive with compassion and acceptance of self, you become more assertive outside of yourself with your compassion and acceptance of others, where that is concerned. But with that said, dear ones, it's most important now that as you continue with that, and that has been what has been transpiring in your world, where that is concerned, in the year of 2019, 2018, where that is concerned, it is now about moving deeper within and connecting fully with the masculine self, where that is concerned, the healed masculine self, the healthy masculine self of assertiveness, asserting yourself out into the world, moving out into the world, and now bringing yourself more assertively out in the world, but having more of what you say you want, where that is concerned. In many ways, asserting yourself out into the world and saying, I am now bringing me and who I am and the full beingness of whom I am, along with my talents, gifts, and abilities, out into the world, and this is what I want. So the year of 2020 is a year of fully expressing the full beingness of who you are, where that is concerned, but now moving out into the world assertively as you bring yourself out into the world to now open your heart space through the assertiveness of compassion and acceptance, opening your heart space and now beginning to receive what you say you want. But it is about releasing, if you have been sitting back and asserting yourself in a certain fashion, but now opening your heart space to now bring it into your life, where that is concerned, and opening up the doorways to a full realization of the balance of giving and receiving. It is about looking at your giving and looking at your receiving. And now moving assertively out into the world, giving of your talents, gifts, and abilities, but now opening your heart to assertively receive it. In many ways, your year of 2020, dear ones, is the year of truth. The truth of what you say you want. What we are saying now, dear ones, is about being your message, being what you are saying. If you are saying, what I want is this in my life, what I am seeking and what I want is this in my life, it is now about opening your heart space and honoring that. In many ways, being your message. If I say this is what I want, then it is now time to have what I want. And being more assertive of that. In many ways, it's about moving out into the world and creating what you want. Creating, having what you want. In the full self-expression of who you are being, where that is concerned. So if you move throughout your year of 2020, it is about connecting more deeply with the masculine energy inside of yourself, moving out into the world more assertively in a healthy fashion of acceptance and compassion, but moving out into the world and saying, this is what I want. This is the change that I see. This is who I am being, and now I am opening my heart space to receive and have what I say I want. In many ways, it is now adhering to your truth, being in the truth of your being. If my truth is this, if my truth says that this is what I say I want, it is now about having what I say I want. It is about releasing, dear ones, speaking it. It is now speaking it assertively in your truth, opening your heart space to receive it and have it. And that is on a personal level where that is concerned. As you move out into the world in a collective consciousness, looking at the world outside of you, your political systems, your governmental systems, your corporate systems, it is now time to shift and change that and see it for what it is. So it is not so much about shifting and changing what is outside of yourself. It is now assertively bringing you in collective consciousness, a healthy collective consciousness, out in the world to shift energetically the level of resonance and vibration of that. That is what you are shifting and changing, dear ones. You are not changing the structure of the old world of form outside of yourself. What you're doing is shifting and changing the resonance and vibration of it. As you shift and change the resonance and vibration of yourself, you then begin to shift and change the resonance and vibration outside of yourself, but utilizing that in choice. I have a choice to shift and change my resonance. I have a choice to look at relationships outside of myself that no longer resonate and vibrate as I do, and I have a choice to shift and change that where that is concerned. So you're now moving into a year of taking greater responsibility for yourself, and then a greater responsibility in collective consciousness of what you are bringing to the world. So it is now looking outside of yourself and seeing where you are being responsible for yourself. And as you look out in the world outside of you, you're seeing a greater sense of irresponsibility. An irresponsibility of people speaking what they are saying without being responsible for what they are saying, without being responsible for what they are doing. So if in fact you are moving into yourselves, living your truth and the powerfulness and beingness of you, of who you are, and opening up to a level of responsibility of you, it is now time to look outside of yourself and hold those accountable outside of themselves to be responsible for themselves. And that, dear ones, is moving in a collective consciousness of responsibility, a collective consciousness of accountability where that is concerned. And it all comes back to you, dear ones. Where you are accountable for what you say. Where are you accountable for what you do? Have you taken full responsibility for what you have said or what you are saying? Are you taking full responsibility for your actions? Are you taking full responsibility for yourself? If you hold yourself accountable, dear ones, if you are in a place of self-responsibility, then you are standing in a powerfulness you have never known before. And as you move out into the world in a collective consciousness with those who are doing this, with those who are being this, like-minded individuals who resonate and vibrate at that level, It is time now, dear ones, to look outside of yourself and demand responsibility and demand accountability. Because that is what you demand of yourself. That is what you know of yourself. So in collective consciousness, it's about looking outside of yourself and standing in that power. If I am standing in the powerfulness of myself, being a responsible, individuated adult, unique unto myself, and hold myself accountable for what I say and what I do and my actions. And this is who I am in the truthfulness of that. This is what I demand of another. This is what I require of another. And it is now about moving in a collective consciousness of that, to demand that and require that of those outside of yourself. So you're moving in a year of 2020, a year of choices. A year of choices, dear ones, that is most important in the world, in your global aspect of your world, the macrocosm of your world, in the political systems of your world, the governmental systems of your world, and your corporate systems of your world. If you are now moving out and demanding accountability and demanding responsibility, it is now important in collective consciousness that you demand this of others. That this is important to you. If I am an individuated, unique adult, fully expressing my truth to the world, and taking responsibility for my word and my actions, and holding myself accountable for my words and my actions, I now demand this of others. This, dear ones, is most important, and a most important, dear one, aspect of your year of 2020. Demanding accountability and responsibility. If you are holding yourself accountable and responsible for yourself, you are fully moving from the wounded child directing your life into a fully individuated adult. Releasing survival consciousness, which is a docile consciousness, into a more assertive consciousness with the masculine energy, moving into abundance outside of yourself and demanding that of others. So it is time now, dear ones, to stand in the powerfulness of yourself as you move through a year of 2020. It will be a year, an incremental year energetically, where you will see, dear ones, energy dipping and raising almost monthly. Energy raising to a crescendo and then dipping to a crescendo. This is the illusion that has been created of duality in the world outside of yourself. So it's a year about, dear ones, releasing, isolating, and separating yourself and releasing duality within yourself as well. It is about a coming together of the full beingness of yourself. Seeing where you isolate and separate yourself, and seeing where you will hold yourself in duality, either or, right or wrong, good or bad. So it is about shifting that as you move along in the year of 2020. But it all relates, dear ones, to collective consciousness. A full collective consciousness of healthy individuated adults moving assertively out into the world, bringing their messages, bringing their modalities, bringing their endeavors out in the world that raises the resonance and vibration of the world, but also educates those to see where they are in their blind spot, where they hold themselves at a higher level than others, as different than others, separating themselves from others. Year of 2020 is a coming together of like-minded souls, creating new soul families perhaps, creating new soul families in a collective consciousness, to bring your world together, to bring your world together in a collective consciousness of peace, love, community, harmony, and equality. So as you move through the year on a month-by-month basis, you will see energies ebb and flow, raise and lower. Because what is transpiring within each and every one of you as you move from the year of 2019 into your year of 2020 is that your energy is shifting within yourself. You are seeing the capacity of old in your life before your eyes. Many lifetimes of the old behaviors. Many lifetimes of old habits, patterns, and rituals. Many lifetimes of wounding coming to the fore at the end of your year of 2019, ready to be released. Ready to now honor and fully value all of that. And now asking yourself the question, am I ready to have what I say I want? And am I ready to release telling my story of what I say I want, and constantly telling my story of what I want, but really as you continue tell the story, you're in resistance to opening your heart space to having what you fully say you want, in community, harmony, inequality, and collective consciousness. In being in relationship with others. What we mean by being in relationships with others is about opening your heart space and allowing another in. Being in the relationship is about holding the relationship at arm's length to protect yourself from something that the wounded child needs to express to you. So it is about releasing protection, dear ones. Releasing the need to protect yourself. What are you protecting yourself from, dear ones? What are you protecting yourself, ones? Remaining in a place of protection around your heart space, where you are preparing for what you say you want. So many have been preparing and continually to prepare. It is time to release preparing, dear ones. Because preparing allows you to stay protected. It is a time, dear ones, to move from your mental body into your heart space. Something that we have been stressing to you over and over and over again. It is time, dear ones, to now have what you say you want. It is time now, dear ones, to be who you are. It is time, dear ones, now to grow into the infinite, wonderful, most glorious child of God that you are.